Hi, I'm Eric, the founder and director at Human Movement Lab, and want to make a video specifically for runners that are dealing with any sort of limitation or pain or injury issue that's making them have to reduce their activity, right? So we've got had a new client come in yesterday, guy in his 50s with issues where he's going to some workouts, some group workouts that involves running and different sorts of weight training and strength training, and he basically is having to stop because he's having so many issues with hip pain and stiffness and just general discomfort. And so even if your pain issues are not the exact same thing, you're not dealing with hip pain, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. If you are running and you are having problems and having to stop or reduce your activity, I want to explain to you exactly what's going on. It doesn't matter if it's your feet, you got plantar fasciitis, you got shin splints, you have knee pain, you have hip issues, hip pain, you have low back problems, your neck is tight, doesn't matter, right? Running has prerequisites. Not everyone is ready to run. You have to have the whole list of prerequisites in place in order for running to reinforce what it is supposed to reinforce, and in order for running to not stress inappropriate parts of the body that shouldn't be stressed when we're running with the prerequisites and with normal mechanics. So there are a lot of prerequisites for running. You have to have a certain measurable amount of hip mobility. You have to have enough motor control in your hips and trunk, and that has to be symmetrical between the left and the right hip. You have to have enough hip hinge mechanics in a single leg stance. You got to have left-right symmetry of strength in your hips, because if you think about it, every time you run, you are impacting the ground with one leg at a time. If you don't have symmetrical hip stability and hip mechanics, the stresses that should be absorbed in your muscular system are going to be absorbed into your skeletal system. Not sure where, but it's going to go somewhere it's not supposed to, and that's going to cause problems. So what we went through with our new client yesterday is just a movement assessment. Let's check all these prerequisites, not only for running, but any sort of high level activity. And he was missing a lot of them, right? So it's what we thought, but we're going to kind of rebuild him from the ground up. He's going to take a little bit of a time out from these workouts that he's been doing, and then pretty soon he's going to resume, and it'll feel completely different for him. So don't be discouraged if you're having issues with running. If you are having issues with running, you just are missing some of the prerequisites. You've overlooked some red flags. You got to go down a couple rungs on the ladder and clean up those lower levels, and then you come back to running and it'll feel great. It'll feel smooth. You won't have to stop. Everything will be fine. So look for a professional that can give you a movement assessment. And I don't mean a gait analysis where they're using a computer screen to kind of look at all the complex and advanced details of your gait. There is a time and a place for that, but that is another thing where you got to go back down to lower rungs on the ladder even for that. You don't even need to be looking at gait until you've already cleaned up everything at these lower tiers. And usually when you clean up the movement issues at lower tiers, everybody naturally knows how to run correctly. You don't need instruction on running form. You just got to get the prerequisites. So we're in Huntington Beach, California. If you are local in the area, feel free to schedule a consultation and assessment. They're free, and we'll provide you with a whole list of what we find, basically identify what your red flags are and what you would need to correct and fix and in what order before you can resume any sort of high level activity like running and feel good about it. And if you're not local, reach out. We have a great network of people in the US and internationally, and we can just put you in touch with somebody who can help you out. So don't get discouraged. You might have to take a little time out. You're almost certainly missing some of the prerequisites, but you can get them back and it won't take too long. So hope this video helped. Check our social media, follow us, and send us a message. Thanks.